Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with the finale for my Pan Those Eyeshadows. So this project I've been doing for quite a few years now, and I do really love it. I've been doing it using Laney's prompts for the last couple of years, and I love that too. Originally this project was created by Lexi, so I will have both of them linked down below. But yeah, it's time to wrap this one up, and I decided to wrap it up at the end of November. Well, I think it's going to be posted at the beginning of December, but I'm filming this on the 28th of November, so I decided to wrap it up now, just because I'm focusing so much on my Pan palette and also finishing up my Big Fat Eyeshadow project. So I want to kind of wrap up other projects just so I can have some more time with those projects before the end of the year. But I'm going to jump into the progress on my 4 shadows I've been working on and let you know where I am and if I hit my goals on any of them. But before I do that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So like I said in the intro, I am working on 4 products or 4 eyeshadows in this project. I decided to do 4 this year just again because I was doing so many eyeshadow projects and I wanted to minimize the amount of eyeshadows I'm working on. So I decided to go with 4 and my goals are to either hit pan or use them 15 times before I can roll them out. We're going to start off with this shadow right here, which is a shadow I rolled in for the prompt from your favorite palette. And this is the McGrath Utopian Dreams, which is one of my favorite palettes. It's also the one that won my eyeshadow battle, Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette, I think I called it. So I decided to go with a shade from this one. And the shade that I decided to go with is this one right here called Astral Venusian Orchid. And this one has now been in for 3 months. So it's a beautiful, sparkly kind of shade. It has like a pink base that goes into a gold and then a more cool tone shift. It's absolutely stunning. I really love this one. It's probably one of my favorite shades from this palette as well. So one of my absolute favorite shades in my collection. In the first month, I reached for this one 7 times. And in the second month, I reached for it 3 additional times. And this is what it looked like at the last update. So I was standing at 10 uses at that point. I, again, really love this shadow, and it was quite easy to reach for this one in the past month, used to complete those 15 uses goal, and this is what it looks like today. So there is definitely some disturbance on it. I can definitely see a little bit of a dip there in the center. You don't need too much of these shadows because they are so sparkly and pigmented, and they're quite like densely packed as well. But I'm happy that I got my 50 uses on this one and I was able to hit my goal on it before the finale. Yeah, even though I was, of course, not near pan at all. So yeah, that is the shade right there, and it's such a beautiful one. I really do love this shade, and you can see the usage now. I'm glad to see some visible use in this palette and in that specific shade because, again, it's one of my favorites in my collection. And again, I was able to hit my goal in this one, which I'm really pleased with. But of course, it is the finale, so I'm not going to roll anything else in for this one right now. The second shade we have has also been in for 3 months now, and that one comes from my Wilderness palette from Beauty Bay. This one I rolled in for drugstore palette, I believe, and I don't really have any drugstore palettes in my collection. The closest thing I have to that is a ColourPop or Beauty Bay, so I decided to go with Beauty Bay because I just feel like it's more easily available here in the UK. So it's kind of like more the drugstore vibe for me personally. But yeah, the shade I rolled in is the shade Eucalyptus, which looks like this. It's a beautiful kind of dark green shade. And in the first month, I reached for this one 3 times. It is one that was quite easy to reach for in looks, especially because I was working on quite a few other green shades. So you can see that I was able to get a little bit of a dip in the first month. In the second month, this was in the project, I reached for it 4 additional times, and this is what it looked like last update. There was definitely more of a prominent dip, but I'm not super close to pan quite yet. And that is actually where I'm standing today as well. I did not reach for this one at all in the past month, unfortunately. It is a super beautiful shade, but I just have been too overwhelmed with other eyeshadows. And again, I kind of forgot about this one. So I am standing at 7 uses still and no more uses in the past month. So yeah, a little bit disappointing there. This one is a bit of a fail, but that's okay. It was, you know, this is the finale, and I wasn't expecting to reach for this one 8 additional times anyway for those 50 uses. Maybe I could have hit pan on it, but I realized too late in the month that I had forgotten about this shade, that I didn't think I could get there anyway. And I've been going for a lot of other type of looks, a lot of more neutral looks, or more kind of rosier type of looks, which this one hasn't been going with. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit my goal on this one, but that's fine. Again, I kind of checked out on this project a little bit with certain shades, so this one is one of them, and yeah, that is where I'm finishing up with this specific shadow. And I forgot to show you the swatch earlier of the first shade, but that is the first 2 shades. So we have the Astral Venetian Orchid, and then Eucalyptus right there. So those are the first two shades I've been working on. The third shade in this project is a single shadow, and this one I rolled in for matches color or random color generator or something like that, and I rolled in Tiffany Yellow, which is a kind of pale yellow shade, and I decided to go with this shade right here, which is Reserve number 7 from Shine by SD. It's a beautiful, yeah, again, light yellow kind of shade that has another kind of yellowy sparkle running through it that shifts into a cool tone sparkle at an angle. It's super pretty, a little bit like of a duochrome, but also mainly used the sparkles, and this is absolutely stunning. I really love this shade, and it's been quite easy to reach for and also very fun to reach for. It's only been in for 2 months, and in the first month I reached for it 3 times, so this what you're looking at now is what it was at the last update, and since then I have reached for this one 6 additional times, so I'm starting at 9 total uses, and this is what it looks like today. So there is a little bit of a dip in the shadow, not too much. It is such a sparkly shadow, and it's quite flaky in the pan, but you don't need too much of it. So even though it is a very, very stunning shade and I have reached for it a decent amount, it does move quite slowly just because of the formula. But yeah, I'm really happy with this shadow, and it's been, again, very, very fun to reach for. So yes, I have the shadow in this palette right here. You can see there's a little bit of a dip in it, but I'm mainly happy that I was able to get some decent amount of use on it. I did reach for those 6 additional uses in the past month, so I'm definitely happy with that. And that is the swatch of it right there. You can see how sparkly it is and how pretty it is. It's up there in like sparkle level almost with the Pat McGrath, not quite, but almost. So it's been, again, very, very fun to reach for. And both of these shades have been very versatile to reach for, either on their own or on top of other shades, which is why I think I've gotten a lot of use out of both of those shades, because they've been versatile with everything else that I'm trying to pan. So that is the third shadow. And again, unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit my goal, but I'm happy with those 6 uses. And then the final shade that we had to work on actually was in last month, and that comes from my gold palette from Natasha Denona. I rolled this one in for Pan Graveyard, so basically something that I tried to pan on earlier, but I wasn't able to, so I re-rolled it into this project, and I decided to go with the shade Kava, which is this beautiful kind of neutral gold type of shade. It's definitely not warm, like too warm leaning. It's, yeah, I would definitely say it's a neutral type of shade, like a sandy undertone almost, and it's just very sparkly and very pretty. So as you can see, I already had a dip on the shadow when I rolled it in, and this is what it looks like now. And I don't know if you're going to see much of a difference, because unfortunately I only reached for this one time. So I did reach for it at least, but not too much. So it's a little bit of a disappointment, but it's okay. Again, I kind of forgot about the shadow, similar to the green shade I was talking about earlier. And I kind of realized very late in the month, and I was focusing on other things to hit my goal on and to finish up, which was more of my priority this past month, rather than just getting some uses on shades like this. So unfortunately, this one kind of, you know, got a little bit neglected, but that's okay. It is a beautiful shade nonetheless, and I'm happy that I got to reach for it. You can see it right there. Yeah, it's such a beautiful shade, and I really love that one. So it would have been fun to reach for it. I definitely would have gotten quite a lot more use on it, I think, if it was staying in the project, but unfortunately it's rolling out. And that is the swatch of it right there. So yeah, very nice ethereal kind of color story with like green matte. So I would say that 2 of these shades were successes and 2 of them were a bit of a fail. The Pat McGrath shade and then the Chanel S3 shades. I'm really, really happy with the usage, but the Beauty Bay and the Natasha Denona shade, I'm a little bit disappointed, but again, that is okay. And yeah, I'm just happy that I was able to get some good use out of these shadows and the shadows in general in this project. It is such a fun project, and I've really been enjoying it. I'm probably going to bring it back again next year. If you want to see it again next year, let me know. I was thinking about talking about pan percentage and stuff like that in this video, but I don't think I'm gonna, because I haven't been up to my spreadsheet and I haven't really been looking at it either too much. And what I might do instead is I might talk about it in my all the pans I hit and eyeshadows I finished update, which is going to come up in the beginning of January, because I feel like that's going to be accurate. And then also that way I can include everything that I finish or hit pan on in the last month of the year too. So with that, I'm actually going to wrap up the video here. It's always a bit bittersweet doing these finales because I feel like they're a bit shorter, and it also feels like a bit of an end of an era when you wrap up these like year-long project pans. But I'm happy to have a break from this project, not because I don't love it, but because I can focus on other projects instead, particularly, like I said, my Panda palette, and also some shadows in my rolling freight pan, things that I want to finish rather than use pan on or get uses out of. So yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next video, which should be up tomorrow because I am doing Vlogmas, so you can stay tuned for that. Bye guys!